Hello, in this C programming video, I am going to show you function parameters passed by reference. So if you've watched the previous video, I passed by value, and what's the difference essentially? So when you pass by value, it creates a local copy essentially, and any changes that happen to the value within that function stay within the function. So let me show you. So we've got this, I passed in, this is currently by value. And let's see if I was to printf right now, and so if I do %i, so say I equals, and I'll just put a \n, and I'll put I'll format this up a bit as well. And if I run this right now, we get, I is for 8 because that's what we passed in. But what if we change it? What if I say, because, I is passed into num1, so if I just change num1, what if I say num1 equals 0 now? So is I going to equal to 0? No, it is not. So if we pass by reference, you aren't actually passing just the value. What you're passing is a reference to the original variable. This is the interesting thing about C. If you've done C++, you can easily pass by reference. In C, some people say you can't pass by reference. The more accurate way of saying is you can't implicitly pass by reference. You have to use pointers and dereference, but again, that's not too much of an issue. What that means is you can't just pass in values like this. You would have to actually pass in a variable. But let's just say I pass in just one reference. So this has to become an asterisk now, like so. This has to put an ampersand. The ampersand gets the memory address of I, so that gets passed in, and because it's a pointer, it just points to that memory address. What it means is, let me comment this out for now. And what it means is, if num1 is to be used, let me use it as so. Like, why are we getting 64,000? Not 64,000, or is it like 6,422,320? The reason is this is just getting the memory address. This is to actually get the value at the memory address where it points to, you have to dereference it. To dereference it, you put an asterisk and we'll get 13, all is well. But now what happens if I do this? It's totally messed up. And the reason is, if you want to change the value, you also need to dereference it. So what this has done, this has just changed where it's pointing to memory address 0. So if I dereference it now, I equals 0. So any changes made to values that are passed by reference affect the original value. You might want that. That's fine, but just bear that in mind. The other thing is, passing by reference is less overhead because you're not creating a local copy. You just have, that other, you're just referring to something. It's essentially like if in your house you have a book, for example, and instead of having the same book in every single room, you just refer to that one book you've got. You just take it into each new room, kind of. There's less cost, there's less physical space you need for that book because there's only one copy in the house. It's kind of the same with this. But when you're dealing with integers, characters, these really sort of simple data types in modern computers, even on mobile, to be fair, it doesn't really, add much benefit, passing by reference in terms of the overhead. If you are creating more custom stuff, you can't do classes in C, but you can do stuff like structs, for example. So if you're doing some more, complex data types and they take up a lot more memory, passing by reference can be useful in terms of an overhead perspective. But just bear in mind, they can be edited as well. So that's, function parameters passed by reference. Value creates a local copy. Any changes made to the local copy doesn't affect the original. Pass by reference doesn't pass in a value. It passes in the memory address, which refers to the original value. But any changes made to the, area that address points to also affects the original because it is the original. So that's it. Thanks for watching. There's a Discord group. There's a link in the description where you can, post any questions you got on the programming channels and there's a GitHub page where you can get all the source code. Again, link in the description as usual. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.